Hello everyone, and it is time for another Iron Warrior cosplay Q&A. My guest tonight is a very good friend of mine, as are all my cosplay guests. Please welcome the absolutely lovely Kim of Warp Raven Cosplay. Kim, how are you?
I'm great, thank you. How are you?
It's really good. It's been ages. It's been ages. I know we've been chatting a lot. About these. I know chatting a lot about them. For those of you who don't know, Kim was the one who made my amazing Iron Warrior logos in cast, and also have actual metal in them, like copper and iron. Because it's literally got iron within.
Literally.
Literally. People are saying they love your hair. Absolutely. Absolutely. Her hair is amazing. And by the way, those are actually her ears. Those are actually her ears.
Yeah, they kind of get a bit annoying when you try to calm them.
We are getting some people saying you're very quiet. Let's see if we can. Let's bump your volume up. Let's bump your volume up. How's that? Try that.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Can we hear Warp Raven now?
Hello.
Wait for the chat to catch up because the chat's behind a tiny bit. Much better. There we go. All good. There we go. The whole chat saying yes. Awesome. Right. Yes. So we were just saying your lovely hair, your absolutely awesome hair. That is really, really cool hair. So, for those of you who don't know, this is lovely Warp Raven cosplay. Known, I'd say, are you most known for your Na? Are you most known for Na?
I don't know, because there's like different pockets of people I've kind of met from different conventions that know different costumes. So obviously one of the main ones that I started bringing to a lot of conventions was the Egyptian one, Bastet. The
Oh,
Egyptian
yeah.
goddess pet.
Yeah, I remember that one.
But yeah, I think mostly up to date is this bad boy.
Look at it, so fluffy.
He's
So
so fluffy.
fluffy. Oh my god, we should, while we're on the topic of Na, just before the stream, Kim was just like, oh, by the way, I bet you didn't know this about Na, and then reaches back and just does this. Grabs Na's tongue and just rips it out. Na's tongue just randomly gets ripped out. Oh my god, Kim, do that thing where you popped it in your mouth and you were like this. It's a big old tongue. It's a big old tongue. I love it.
You can replace his tongue with a longer one, so I can kind of turn him into a bit dopey.
You can make him blep, as cats do, like blep. Like
Blep.
blep. I love it. Cats
I'd
blep.
like to, but his jaw doesn't really move as much as I want to anymore.
Ranger of Creed cosplay said, "I am hither," and then I just witnessed a tongue being ripped off. I'm scared. It's like, welcome to the stream. But yeah, so yeah, we've met. We've met before Sci-Fi Weekender, if I'm right.
I think it was Sci-Fi Weekender. I think I briefly saw you outside of Wales Comic Con a few years ago.
Yes, when I was going in.
Yeah, you looked kind of awkward because you were just stood there like. I was like,
Yep.
I kind of wanted to come up to you and talk to you, but I was like,
It was me and a friend of mine, and we were like, "Hey, we need to go in. There's just stairs, and then there was like tape over where the disabled ramp was." So my friend Holly had to go get somebody, and then the guy came out and was like, "Oh, okay," and moved the tape. And then I sidestepped like Baymax all the way up the ramp, and then got to the flat bit, turned, sidestepped, turned again, and then went up, and then got to the door. And it's the first time ever I got weapon checked. Ever.
what?
They grabbed my bolt pistol and were like looking down the barrel and like, okay, and handed it back to me, and I was like, thanks. And then she grabbed my chainsaw and like squished it and was like, oh, okay, we'll put a tag on it. And I'm like, why? It's a LARP safe rubber chainsaw.
Where would you put it? And yeah.
Honest to God, so funny, and that was the best. But I think I saw you there with, you had your, I don't know the character. I feel really bad for not knowing. You had your big arm on. I think you had.
Oh, the Witchblade.
Witchblade.
So beautiful.
That's so cool. Look at that. That's so badass.
the like full. I want to do like a full body armor, biomechanical armor at some point.
Ooh, that would be sick.
But I have like lots of other things that I want to do first.
A
So.
million other things.
It's all
A
like
list.
a million list.
A
Like,
list
literally,
longer than your arm.
It would just like carry on for days if you dropped it.
Do you know what's really funny? I actually said that the other day, and I've forgotten who I said it to. But I said if I had a list, I would have a small scroll about this big, and then I would unravel it, and it would unravel, fall to the floor, and continue on, and just leave. And I'd be like, oh, and it'd be something you wouldn't unravel ever because it would be too much of a pain to roll it back up.
Oh,
honestly.
yeah. Paper anyway.
So with like obviously we're still talking about your NAR and your cosplays and stuff. Obviously you made some Space Marine shoulders for your NAR.
But not like for the Emperor, a Space Marine.
No, for the Emperor. No, we don't need that. Look how cool they are. Oh,
hang on, that's
so cool. Look at them.
So, Twtich, cool.
I love the head. I love the head with the teeth.
It's all Raven.
It's so cool.
God head and thing.
That's absolutely. It's so kick-ass. And you wore those to the last Sci-Fi Weekender, didn't you?
Yeah, I did like a crossover cosplay for now because his character in League of Legends when he pretty much hulks out in games with ultimate, he turns into this like big, massive, hulking beast of a thing. So I thought, well, if I was to choose faction to go with the whole Warhammer theme, which one would it go for? And because the whole idea of like transformation and stuff, and I thought, the Raven God, because it's the Lord of Change.
Absolutely.
So, hence, Nar Marine was born.
Nar Marine. I love Nar Marine though. Like it was so cool when you had your really kick-ass. You made an Auspex eye.
Yes, I did.
That was so cool.
I haven't got that with me. I think that's upstairs somewhere.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. But it was so cool. It was so badass. When you walked up to us and you were wearing it, I was like, it looks so cool.
I think there's some videos on the internet somewhere, on Facebook probably, or...
Oh, that's so cool. Obviously, we do have Warp Raven's links. They will be posted in the chat. My mods are in the chat. They'll be posting those in the chat as we go. But honestly, one thing I properly, absolutely went head over heels for when you showed it to me. You were like, hey, look, I've got this. When we were at, I think it was Bristol, at the UK CGF, you showed me your guitar that you made for now.
Oh, no. It wasn't actually made for NAR. It was the first ever, like, foam, like, big foam pop that I made a few years ago. So it was actually it's the Axe,
Marceline's guitar.
The Vampire Queen from Adventure Time's Axe bass guitar.
I love that. I love that guitar.
Yeah, I think Rich is just going to go grab it for me.
Rich is going to go grab it. Nice one, Rich. Give Rich a big round of applause. What an absolute legend. I do love Marceline's guitar though. It's so cool.
These are actually proper bass strings as well.
Even better.
And it was literally just out of the crappy floor mats you use in garages.
Yeah. What my entire Space Marine is made out of.
Hey, you know what?
they're just terrible. They're the best.
How you finish them, but I spent ages sanding the backs of these because they had all that texture and stuff. And the only thing I had at the time was this little mouse sander, and I was just like, spent hours just sanding all the back of these so I could stick these all together on the design.
It's such a badass guitar though. Well, bass guitar. It's such a badass bass.
These are actually bottle caps.
I love that though. I do you know what? I haven't actually got anything on my Iron Warrior bass guitar. It's all laser etched in. I might need to actually start putting some 3D stuff on it. I've got Evil Ted's molds. I might have to make it look more badass.
Radiator keys. look like machine heads. On
They
the cars.
do! Oh my god, they
And
are
they're
literally
like
radiator keys.
from, like the pan shop.
Oh my god. Bass is the best. I have a real bass guitar. I actually play bass. I love bass.
I wish it could play it. It'd be so cool.
There is a guy.
Yeah,
There is a guy who made a real one.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. These are actually zip ties
Oh my
inset into the foam.
god.
They've just been painted silver.
I never realized how much like detail was on that bass guitar. Every time I saw you with it, I never had mine. You would have your bass guitar on you, and I wouldn't have mine, and I was like, God damn it! I'd forget every
We
time.
still need to do that music video.
We do. We have a music video. We have a music video planned, and it's gonna be so cool. Although I'm still trying to figure out what song to do.
Yeah. If anybody can think of any good songs.
Any good bass related songs? That would be really cool. That would be absolutely badass. But let's get to the questions. We have many questions. Also, if you guys have any questions for Warp Raven that you would like to ask, throw them up in the chat, and my mods will throw them over to my phone here, so I can pick them out as we go and slot them in as we go. But the first question I have for you, Kim, is how long have you been cosplaying?
Oh, this is kind of like a...
This is always a difficult one for many people, but some people it's really easy.
Yeah, I think because I've always been creative, and I've always loved dressing in costumes. So it's kind of hard to pinpoint where like cosplay started for me.
Like where it started?
Yeah, because like obviously like the only time of year that we could, probably about 15 years ago, was literally Halloween. So without it looking like really weird, like, oh, that person's dressed in costume. You can't do it like any other like day of the year without it looking weird. So I think probably when I did the most amount of costumes was going back to when we used to go to a rock night that used to be weekly. They used to do like a monthly event where it was like a charity event, but it would be like a theme night, like sci-fi characters or game characters or something like that, and they'd have like a mini costume competition within the night. And I think in that space of time, I did Blood Rain. A really bad press from Blade Runner.
Really bad press from Blade Runner?
Yeah. Like, I do not suit blonde, and it was a horrible blonde wig, and it was like one of those horrible, cheap, nasty looking things. I did Invader Zim.
You're Invader Zim? You did that? Oh my god!
It was kind of like I painted my face green, and I made the costume, and I had like the mask, the alien mask, to pull over my actual face. With the ears and stuff. Not the ears, the antenna. We also did, I think this was for like the Masquerade, which was on Valentine's Day. This is how me and Rich actually got together, was through this rock night. But we made our like own sort of like masks for this. Which
Look at that.
we did like the Egyptian theme, so he did like a Horus one. This was literally just bodged together with paper mache, and I've still got it.
I like that you kept it though. It's like sentimental.
It is, but also I really love Egyptian stuff anyway. So, but yeah, this does actually light up as well. But
Oh, what, in the eyes?
yeah, you got the eyes, you got the bit around there, but
I love that. That is so
Yeah.
cool. Does it still fit you?
I think so. It just literally,
Just sits on your head?
yeah. My ears just fallen off.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
It's a bit of a tight squishy. Cause yeah,
It looks nice though.
actually start going into conventions dressed up until probably about 2012.
Oh, so you've been so throughout the whole thing that you had a hell of a lengthy sort of cosplay life, if you will. Like even before you even like properly classed it as like cosplay. But when did Warp Raven cosplay and props start then? Like when was it you realized, you know what, I'm gonna start a page and a Twitter and a Facebook and a all that and
It wasn't kind of like a decisive thing right at that moment because we went to it was my first cosplay competition, and it was like a small event at my hometown in Llandudno. I think it was like Sci-Fi Wales or something.
yeah.
And I think one of the judges came up to me at the convention, and well, I don't know if I should say her name, but Lady Nightingale Cosplay. She is amazing. She actually encouraged me to enter the competition because she was just like, and I was dressed up as Bastet.
Oh, that's so cool.
But afterwards, I actually got first place, and I was just like, what?
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've seen your work.
I was so scared to go on stage because like I've not really like done anything like that before. So I was like really nervous and stuff, but she was just like really encouraging and really positive and was like, yeah, just do it, just do it, just do it. And I was just like, oh my god, and they wanted to take my photograph, and they were like, oh, so what's your cosplay page? And I was like, oh, I don't really have one.
I don't have one.
Okay, so I literally went onto my phone that very moment and made a cosplay page, and I was just like, I changed my name to Raven, so I combined Raven with Warp Raven, and because like there's very kind of surrounding fandoms that I have to do with H.P. Lovecraft and Warhammer.
Oh yes.
And lots of different things. But Warp Raven, I didn't realise was Warhammer till afterwards. So. That's actually completely by coincidence.
It's by coincidence, but it's awesome though.
But yeah, Raven is kind of like, symbology. It's not only to do with death and rebirth, it's about transformation, and that kind of fits with what I, cosplay in general, because you're transforming yourself into a character.
Yes.
So it's kind of like shape-shifting and
I wish it was that easy. I wish it was that easy. Can you imagine if that easy? You just sit there and just go, huh, and then you just become whatever you like.
My God, that would be amazing.
It'd be so easy.
I would literally be running down the street scaring people as an alien.
The amount of times Ranger Krieg wouldn't have to tie my laces, although he doesn't anymore, but it would have been handy. I can assure you, it would have been so handy. Also, I probably wouldn't have sweat so much. Just like, although speaking of like sweating buckets, how hot is Nah?
It is very hot.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, with that much food, do you have any cooling in yours at all? Because I don't have any cooling in mine. Yeah. No cooling. Hey, we're the best. We're the best. I mean, David Roth does the same. David Roth has no cooling. He had cooling, and when he did have cooling, it caught fire. Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
it's just.
Yeah, I was like, yeah. Oh my God, that was so scary. I'm not gonna set fire now.
Oh no! But I mean, like he had a fan in, and like the moisture from his sweat and the wiring and stuff, and it just sort of caught fire. But honestly, we suffer, and it's metal as hell. Yeah, exactly. Well, that's metal as hell. It's like, yes, it is. It's the best. Like,
play, I guess.
Absolutely.
But yeah, my partner Rich is really good with that sort of thing, because he'll just make sure he's also my spotter, because I can't see very much in the sky.
No, visibility in that is pretty low, you said. Especially when you go to Sci-Fi Weekend and you walk into the main room and it's all pitch black anyway.
I just need like a shoulder lamp or something just to kind of navigate. But no, he's my spotter as well, and also he makes sure I keep hydrated. And
he's your Harry. He's your Harry.
Yes, he's my Harry. He's my caveman.
I love that. We have a question here from Mr. Titan 40K. I'm Rory Cosplay. I got a question. What is the funniest prop story that happened to you at a con? What's the funniest prop story you've had? That'll be you.
Oh, prop story.
Funny prop story. Don't get me wrong. I have a million of mine. I've accidentally knocked plenty of people with my weaponry and stuff. But
I've never actually had any bad experience. But actually,
touch wood.
No, that's not true. Actually.
Did Rich just look at you and go, "Really? Really?"
No. I literally, it's like we had this telepathic link just right now, because we were just like, I was thinking, no, I can't think of anything apart from in our head by, hitting people in the face with the ears.
Donk.
But I think it was at one of the sci-fi weekenders. It might have been Sci-Fi in the City.
I've never been to a Sci-Fi in the City. I want to go.
In Sheffield, yeah. It's actually closer for us now than what Sci-Fi Weekender is, because where it was in Pwllheli, it wasn't that far away. Now it's on the other side of the country. We're like,
Because where are you now? Because you moved, didn't you?
Yeah, so we're based in the northwest. So we're based in Chester.
Yeah, because you used to live in Wales, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Sci-Fi Weekend used to be really close to me, about 2.5 hours, 3 hour drive. Now it took over 7 hours to get to Great Yarmouth from here in a rented van, and it's.
You didn't drive all that way, did you?
My backside hurts just thinking about it. that just don't.
Oh yeah, sorry, the question.
Yeah, funny prop story. Yeah.
Yeah. This was kind of like a, oh my god, I can't believe this has actually happened situation. It was literally an hour before the costume competition.
Right.
And I had the big LED whip that Bastet has in Smite, and it lights up and stuff. And because that venue was quite dark anyway, and it was literally lighting the way for so many people, it was hilarious. But that broke literally an hour before, and I was like, oh no, what are we gonna do? Then Rich was like, right, we're gonna go to the back of the van, because he's an AV engineer. He literally brought his van, because that's like the only thing I can kind of fit all my crap into. Cosplay stuff.
Trust me, I had to sell my car and get a van, so yeah, I know the feeling.
Trying to find a car that's got a big enough boot space for everything. It's like, oh my god. But yeah, luckily he had a soldering iron and some things in the back of his van to fix it with.
What an absolute legend.
He literally managed to fix it within 15 minutes before the competition.
Oh, what an absolute hero. Genuinely. Holy crap.
I know. I think it literally died afterwards though.
Hey, did it survive? Did it do its job during the competition? Yeah.
Still alive.
Yeah.
And I was still swinging it around. So, yeah.
Good. As long as it did its thing on stage, then you're all good. But did it die a death after?
Yeah, it was kind of doing the whole, if it bent slightly one way, a different lights would flicker on it.
Oh, okay, yeah, so it was dying then. It was properly dying.
Yeah, so it's literally dying.
Oh, man alive.
That was so cool, though.
I was looking at that prop behind you. You have like a staff behind you, behind Na's ear. It's like an Egyptian, yeah.
I'm trying to like look on camera.
What's that? I'd love to know what that is.
So before I made the Bastet whip, I wanted to go to a convention with like a staff.
Oh, Rich again! What a hero!
I know.
Absolute lad.
He's amazing.
There you
I'm
go.
just gonna have to like undo it.
Oh, look at that! It comes apart. That's brilliant.
You know, like pool cue attachments.
Oh yeah.
They are so good.
They really are. I haven't used any. I should use some of those.
Yeah. So I was kind of like wanting some sort of staff that had a blade on it.
Okay.
That kind of lit up. There was no real reason behind it. I was just like, I want to make an Egyptian prop.
You just wanted it, yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've done the same. I mean, you saw what I was doing just now before the start of the stream. I was like, it's just because I want it.
So this has got like a paper mache like cat skull thing on the top of it, and
Oh, I love that.
and that just pops up.
Ah, that's so cool.
I'm so glad it actually shows on camera.
It shows up really well, even though you're like in a really well lit room. It still shows up really, really well. That's so cool.
It's literally just EL wire.
Oh yeah, I've got some of that stuff. I've not used that stuff.
But because this prop doesn't move, it's okay. Because I know EL wire can be quite flimsy and it'll come break easily. But yeah.
That's so cool. We've just had someone follow. We've had 2 people just follow suddenly. Right, so Bonaparte06, thank you so much for the follow. And I'm gonna butcher this. I'm really sorry, but Kiri Strand. Keris Trend. It's KERESTREND. I'm so sorry if I butchered that. I'm so sorry. I love you really. Like, we've got loads of people. Courtney says, "Hey Kim, lots of love." Loads of people are saying, "Hey." Have a bunch of people from your Twitch just suddenly showed up.
Oh, thank you guys for joining.
Hello everyone. Thank you so much for the follows. I really, really appreciate it. Obviously, you guys know who this is. This is the lovely Kim, Raven Cosplay. She's absolutely awesome. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Iron Warrior Cosplay. I'm a big Space Marine dude. If you guys are new here, obviously, you guys can follow me. ! My mods will do it. I've forgotten. Thank you. !social. I panicked and forgot my exclamation marks. Yeah, there you go. If you guys want to follow me as well, there's my links and everything. But that is absolutely insane, and it's just EL wire. So in the blade part, then, does it actually? You've just made it go up and down, have you? So that it like
just glue gunned it in. So.
Just glue gunned it in. Glue guns for the win. I love glue guns.
This is like acetate sheets, like.
To sort of dissipate it and make the light sort of, instead of having like hot spots, you can just like dissipate it. That's really, really cool.
The glue gun kind of like diffuses the light anyway.
Yeah, I found that with a few things that I've tried with glue. I tried a big diamond thing I had and dremeled out the inside, put an LED in it and filled it with hot glue, and it didn't change the look of it at all, which was really nice.
Also, if you've got acetate or clear plastic, if you sand the inside of it, it diffuses it as well.
Oh, it makes it like frosted glass.
Yeah. Really
That's cool. That I like. See, look at that. Learning stuff all the time. I absolutely love it. Ah, there we go. I've just been told how it's pronounced. I do apologize. I'm really bad at pronouncing people's usernames when they go onto my Twitch. I'm just like, how do I pronounce this? It's really... I'm sorry. But welcome either way. Thank you so much. Welcome. So, is cosplay something you see yourself doing in 10 years?
Oh, yeah.
I love that. Just a straight off. Just, hell yeah. Just without even batting an eyelid. You were like, hell yeah. Like,
no hesitation. No, yeah. You know, I love creatures and stuff, so I'm like, as far as I'm making creature stuff, then I'm going to be cosplaying, so...
Well, speaking of like that kind of stuff, you have just, is it only recently you've started an Etsy?
Yes. I started it like a year ago. Well, I think when we were at Bristol. Oh, actually, no, not Bristol. Yeah, it was. I'm sure it was around the time Bristol last year. But I kind of put it into holiday mode at the moment because we're changing a lot of stuff and we've got like some new stuff that's coming out as well.
I saw your latest molds, your amazing bird skulls.
Yeah.
They look insane. Look how cool they are.
I don't know how well you can see them.
If you move back a little bit, if you move like towards you a little bit more. There you go. You can see
Yeah.
them clearer now. At least on my screen you can.
It's like an oxidized copper.
It looks so... Oh, hold on. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Like this oxidized copper logo that you made me. Yeah.
Yeah.
The skulls are so detailed as well. And you actually cast those. Did you cast those from a real one?
Yeah, I cast it from a real one.
Actual real... That's so cool.
It was ethically sourced. So again, it was probably somebody on Etsy that I asked quite a lot of questions about where they got it from and how they went about cleaning it. But yeah, I pretty much just made a mold of it. In fact, one side, have a look.
Oh, it's a nice... Oh, wow, that's such a detailed mold. Wow.
Yeah, so...
You see, I wouldn't know where to start with that. I wouldn't know where to start with that.
So literally, you just chop it together and then you pour it in from the top.
Ah, right.
But because the way I did it, I kind of have to pour it, let that bit set, pour that side at the same time, and then put them together and then pour in the
Oh, I got you. So that they adhere better?
Yeah, it's just like some of the details you can't really get to if you just straight pour it, but I think that's probably because where I put the pourings out. Whereas if I put it back of the head, I probably would have got like gravity just going into those holes, like those gaps and stuff with the detail.
Is it easy to sort of remake that mold then? If you had to remake it, when that one eventually gives up, would you make another one and do the spout at the back instead? Or?
Yeah, I mean, I've got like the original skull, but what I've done is I've actually kept like a master copy of it.
Oh, cool.
So what I do with the master copy is I'll just basically fill the holes and then just remold it.
Oh, that's awesome. So you're totally doable then.
Mold that.
Oh wow, the bottom part is very delicate looking.
It is, yeah. But once you've like stuck it together and put resin on it.
Oh yeah, no, it's probably solid as a rock then. But like the actual like two separate pieces looked really delicate, like the small bottom beak. So you could cast just the top if you wanted then. So you could have just a bunch of bird skulls at the top without the bottom jaw.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome. I like that. But obviously, for you guys who want to see Warp Raven's Etsy, it is currently linked in the chat. Thank you to Dragonheart for that. She's linked your Etsy shop there. If you guys want to go have a look, there's some really awesome stuff on there. Absolutely. I know...
It's not up at the moment, but it will be in the next couple of weeks.
Oh, there we go. Oh, my apologies. I wasn't sure that it was...
It's fine.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine.
Things are actually taking a bit longer to process with it, so...
Oh, that's all right. That's all right. Well, the link is there. Make sure you save it and bookmark it, and then when it's up... Oh, wow. What are they?
So these are like blanks for eyes, you know, for like creatures and stuff.
Oh, that's so cool.
So this is like one of the things that we're going to be selling as a kit in the shop. So we got like some cat's eyes.
Oh, I love that.
Or reptile eyes. We can use them for both.
Are they rubber or are they solid? Are they resin? Or?
Oh no, these are just resin.
That's so cool.
You can't really see the detail on the camera, unfortunately. But these will be sold painted and unpainted. So.
I was going to say, can you buy them unpainted as well as painted?
Yeah,
that's
I
awesome.
like to give people that option because.
Yeah. I started doing that as well with some of my props. I offer them painted and unpainted, or I offer them either unpainted or primed, ready for painting. And the amount of people who are like, yes, please prime it. I hate priming stuff, and I'm like, oh, okay. Priming does take time, but it's the easiest part of the whole thing rather than building the entire prop. But yeah, no.
Yeah. I mean, these are pretty straightforward. It's like you could literally paint straight onto them because it adheres quite well. But
don't get me wrong. These have been.
I would actually prime it beforehand.
These have been fantastic. The ones I've been casting from hot glue, they've been brilliant. They paint really, really well.
And that's kind of like in the process at the moment.
Oh, that skull looks cool.
Something. I'm not saying what it is just yet, but you'll find out when I post.
Ooh, I like that. Are you going to do just the skull as a skull as well, or?
Yeah. So
awesome.
That's going to get molded just as a skull, but I've got something a bit more extra special planned for that one. We have some interesting things happening with Warp Raven Cosplay. Artus Blackfire said, I have spammed the Instagram account. Oh, thank you. That's where I spend most of my time anyway, Instagram and Facebook. So, this is also another one, which is going to be like a bracer.
Oh, that's so cool. Oh, I love that it's actually on a mannequin arm. Oh, wow, okay. It was off camera, then you brought it in, and it's just got these giant fingers. Like, bloody hell, that's so cool.
I've just like really like long, gangly looking fingers. It's quite creepy.
Have you seen those really cool 3D printed ones that extend your fingers, and when you curl your human finger, it curls 2 other joints with a tip to it as well?
I follow the guy on Instagram. He's absolutely amazing stuff on there. So.
He has some awesome stuff. Adam Savage has a pair.
He does.
And he was playing with them.
Just so I can just go.
They're really cool. They are so cool. I would get a pair of gloves made for them, so that I would get a plain pair, and then you could put a big glove over it, like a thing, and it would still bend. Like, it would be so cool. It would be crazy. Oh, look at that! Unity Paints and Lynette Cosplay are in the chat. Hello, guys. How are you doing? This is my lovely guest, Warp Raven Cosplay. We're currently chatting cosplay, obviously, and also we're talking casting and mold making, which is something I'm slowly getting into, thanks to Kim of Warp Raven Cosplay, because I use hot glue. when I told Kim I use hot glue, she's like, "Oh, okay, cool. You should try using actual resins, though." And I'm like, "But hot glue's so easy."
See, that hot glue is like what you show me has worked so well. It looks so good.
I tell you what, it's been a lot of trial and error on my side. I have when I got that original that little crappy 6 skull cake mold. I would get the glue gun and I would just squirt the glue slowly into it and just do that. And it would take ages and it looked crap and it would come out and have big chunks missing from it. It'd have big holes in the head and I'd have to fill them in and sand them and it just wouldn't look right, so I'd throw it away. But then I was like, why don't I just melt the glue in the mold? So I checked how the mold was like 300, 400 degrees or something. It was meant to be for an oven because it's a cake mold. So I grabbed my heat gun and just chopped up some glue sticks in half into big pieces. Now I do tiny pellets. But I chopped them in half, just shoved them in, melted them, and would tap it and melt them. And it worked really well, but as for bubbles, I have to get a long needle or something and just poke all the bubbles out of it and get all the bubbles out of it. But since then, I've been properly into doing the molds and stuff. And obviously, when this beauty came along... Thank you so much for that. Honestly, this thing's so pretty. The amount of people who've wanted one, they've been like, "Oh my god, can I buy one?" And I'm like, "No. I might give them away. I might do a giveaway at some point, but as of right now, I'm just making them because I really like making them." although, like wink wink nudge nudge, I have commissioned Warp Raven Cosplay to do something for me, and she has currently sent me the pictures of them. And they look really cool, and I can't wait to see. What comes of them. So, really excited about that. That's gonna be so. That's gonna be so badass. See now, those I'm definitely thinking I could make Iron Warrior things for, and then see if people like them. And then if we can do that, we should do a collab sometime and see if we can get a bunch of stuff done.
That would be brilliant.
That would be absolutely awesome. We have a question for you from the lovely Lynette Cosplay. Are you the wonderful person behind the iron coin?
Yeah. I was going to say, I literally have the master, well, one of the ones that, this was a failed one because of how flat it is. I don't think you can see it that well.
It looks so good. I love the detail in them. I absolutely love the detail on the actual helmet itself. Is so cool. But I will say this, though. I do have to give a shout out to the wonderful Dave Sinclair, who is the cosplayer for Rogel Dawn. He's Dave Sinclair Cosplayer on Facebook. I've yet to do a stream with him, but I might get him on stream at some point. I have done a stream with him. It's another cosplayer I'm thinking about. But he's the one who designed the little logo that was on Brand's memorial video, and I fell in love with the logo and asked him if he could do me a still image of it and also a small short video for it that I use for the openings of my videos on my Facebook page. So when I did that, and you said you had something for me, and I was like, okay, I'm very interested. Then you sent me the picture of this. I was absolutely blown away. I was genuinely... It's insane how detailed they are. And I've got the 3 of them here, and they're literally iron coins. It's so cool. It's so cool.
Because I had the iron powder, and I was like, I've got it. I hope he doesn't mind me doing this, but I'm like, I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna send it. Because it's literally gonna be iron within when it oxidizes.
Literally, and I love the one that you sent me a video of you hair drying it, didn't you?
Yeah.
I was just like, it looks so good. But then you said when I sent you a picture, I posted them on Instagram, and you were like, I think they've oxidized more in the post. I was like, good. I was like, good. They need to. I love it. Iron within. Like, it's so cool.
That was another thing as well. I went to seal it, and as I normally do with the oxidized copper, I use like a crystal clear sealant, and I was gonna do that with the rust one, and then I sprayed one of the rust ones, and I was like, oh no, it's got rid of the rust. It's gone.
It's gone.
And all the beautiful colours and everything. I was just like, right. So I literally sanded off one of them and then put it back into the solution for it to rust a bit more.
For it to rust again.
It actually turned out better.
Oh, I love that. I absolutely love that. That's so cool. When I got these in the post and I realized you had sent me the actual mold as well, I was just like, oh my god. I had to ask you straight away though, didn't I? Like, how much heat do you think they can take? Because I know I use my heat gun. And I was just like, I wonder how much heat these things can take. It's like, because if it's not, it's gonna melt it. But it takes heat so well.
It won't melt. It's just because it's not like one of the high heat resistant silicones, because silicone can be quite expensive. And the heat resistant one is more expensive, so it handles heat fine. It's just when it contains the heat a lot longer if it's not heat resistant.
Yeah, that's literally what I found out about this. Is once I heat it up with a heat gun, I have a heating block. I have actually a block of wood that I put on the table, and I put the mold on it, and I warm it up on the block, and I tip the glue in and everything. I do all that, and it melts. And once it's done, I take the needle and I'll like pop all the bubbles, and then I'll pick up the entire block of wood and move it to one side and leave it there for the rest of the night, because it's so hot you can barely touch this. It's incredibly hot when it's done. So, but it's lasted 4, 5, I think 6 castings so far. It's done 6 so far. And I'm really, really happy with how they've come out. Like, I'm really happy with how.
This one, like, I've had forever. This is like when I first started doing molding.
Oh, wow, look at that.
It still pulls really well. And none of the silicone bits have come out of it yet.
How,
and I've probably done about 70 pulls on it.
How thick is that?
It's super thick.
That's
it didn't need
awesome.
to be that thick. So that's when I first started molding.
No, that's fine. It's just it looked really. So how flexible is that now? Is that still as flexible as this? Like, is that still? Oh wow, okay.
Super squish.
So I don't need to worry about that then. I don't need to worry about that failing anytime soon.
I've had this for like 2 years.
Oh, then fine. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm much more chilled about that now. That's awesome. So with
also I have my.
So as a thank you to Warp Raven for making me my absolutely awesome Iron Warrior logos, I decided, have I made that band too small? Did I make it too small? Is it really hard to get over?
It's because my ears.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure how long to make it, and I was like, I don't know how long to make it. But I made Kim the first ever Iron medal, and it's I'm going to be making Iron Warrior medals as
blue.
Rewards and giveaways.
It's so cool.
Yeah, it is hot glue. It's all hot glue. That entire mold that she's holding there is hot glue, rub and buff, black spray paint, and silver dry brushing, and it's my favorite. And then obviously the tiny
like,
paintbrush I had to painstakingly go through the iron within it and making sure it's all black because I was like, oh no, you can barely see it, so I had to paint it black to make sure it's okay.
like,
I really like them. I love the way they look. I think they're fantastic. And again, we were saying just before the stream, I'm going to be putting magnets on these, definitely, and then putting them on my... I'm going to put them on my metal workbench. They're going to be there, pride of place. I'm just going to... And I'll be able to take them off occasionally, and because the chain on my Iron Warrior is metal, I'm hoping to be able to get one and just go clink to the metal chain on the actual Space Marine. I'll have to get really strong magnets. Get from the proper metal. I love it. Absolutely love that.
How metal are you?
I'm not gonna lie, my Iron Warrior is pretty metal. It's pretty metal.
I'm just all fluff.
I'm not gonna lie though, Nar is so metal. Like it's so cool when you're when you're walking around in Nar and you've got your guitar and you're doing all the cool stuff, and it's so cool. It is badass to see. It is awesome. I remember, was it Sci-Fi Weekender? I think it was Sci-Fi Weekender. You and I were out of cosplay. We were chilling in the cosplay zone. You popped on over, and you just had Nar's head. and I looked at you, and I was just like, wow, it just looks like you've gone and decapitated Nar. And you're like, this is my prize. I have Nar's head. I thought that was fantastic. Just seeing you walk up with Nar's head. It's just like, okay.
It's a normal day, isn't it?
It's such an awesome thing. The eyes you used. You said you used. I remember you telling me what you, because I remember tapping the eyes. I was like, what are they made from?
Oh, for Nar.
Yeah.
They're Christmas decorations.
That's the one. They're Christmas decorations. Oh, look at Nar's head. It's such a cool head.
I'm just throwing everything everyone.
Don't worry. It's all foam in the end, where it was super strong.
Yeah,
so cool.
They're just Christmas tree decoration baubles. The ones that you can decorate yourself. We have a shop where we live called Abercorn, which is like a fabrics and haberdashery place.
Haberdashery. It's like one of my favourite words. Haberdashery.
So satisfying, the word. But they had like those empty bauble sort of things, and they didn't have them big enough. So I ended up ordering them off eBay. So they're quite a large set, and I had to cut quite a few of them because I ended up cracking.
Oh yeah, they're super delicate, aren't they?
Yeah, but they do actually come out as well.
No way.
But I'm not going to do it now, just in case.
Yeah, no. It's fine. Just if it's absolutely fine. I'd rather you not crack his eyes on Nar's eyes on stream. That would be heartbreaking. I'd be like, no, his eyes.
I was supposed to be making a new set though, at some point, so I could actually see through the middle of them.
Oh, cool.
But still have that kind of realistic look.
Yeah. How do you see out of Nar right now?
Tear ducts.
Tear ducts. You look at the tear ducts. That's so cool.
Like, that's no vision.
Hey, it's good thing you have it's good thing you have a spotter. Oh wow! Look at that! Look at the tiny teeth. The tiny teeth. They're so cute. These little chompers.
I think he's lost it as well.
No way! Really?
Yeah.
Teething.
I think it's one of the back ones, but you can't really see it anyway. Kind of adds to it.
I love that. We have a question from Bezhawk. So, how old is Nar now? looks over to the boss man. You would know. Please tell me how old he is.
2018, was it? Around coming up to 2 years actually, because I won Wales Comic Con Championship 2018.
Oh,
so yeah,
wow.
it literally would have been December. I built it in a month in November. Was it? Yeah, about 5 weeks. I made it.
5 weeks.
Wales Comic Con in 2018. So yeah.
Wow. Dedication. That is It's either dedication or insanity, or a bit of both.
A bit of both helps when you're cosplaying.
Bit of both helps. But I love that. Nah is so cool. I'll always know you as Nah every time. It's always Nah. It's like Walt Braven does Nah as a cosplay.
And we did them at the same time. Because literally, like, to do the actual pattern after I did all the upholstery foam and stuff underneath the fur, actually doing the patterns on the fur was an absolute nightmare.
How bad?
I remember crying.
Oh no!
At a few stages, just because like I was surrounded by all these like cut out paper patterns, and I was trying to transfer them to the actual fur. And of course, with the direction of the fur on the actual hat, I had to put an arrow to say which way the fur had to lie, and then the different colours that I had to hand stitch in as well. So I literally ended up with like probably about 30 odd patterns for the head, and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I've lost where I am. What am I got myself into? And then literally months afterwards, I could still find like little bits of Nah fur that I'd like chopped up and shaved and everything.
You just get a Vietnam flashback from the night where you were just sat down crying your eyes out like, it's too much fur. It's just too much fur.
Like I'll end up finding it on clothing that was in the wardrobe that was nowhere near the
fur
shop at the time.
Fur is insane.
In my cup of tea or coffee, and I just feel like, how the hell did that get there?
You could move house and you'll still find bits of fur. Like it's the same with animals. Like it's crazy. It is crazy, and it gets everywhere. Even if they've never been in a room, it's like, why is there so much fur everywhere?
Yeah. I'm quite lucky. The cat that we've got doesn't really molt that much. She's short there, so she's okay.
I've seen your kitty. Your kitty's so cute.
The molting.
How scared is your cat of Nah when you put Nah on?
I think she's kind of used to it by now.
I love that. Just totally used to it.
I think like that. I've got a picture somewhere on my phone from when I first started building it, and it's just literally when I just put the upholstery foam on top of it, and she was sat on the bed next to it, just kind of like curled up, like it's nice and warm.
Did you keep a piece for her? Aww. You should have recut the piece and made it for her and just like curl up inside. Like, I'll take this one, you have the new one, and I'm gonna go to the thing.
Mini Nah head.
Just a tiny Nah head. That'd be so cute.
Oh,
that's so cute.
But yeah, it's a nightmare to work with.
Here's a question for you that I'd love to know, because I've seen a good chunk of your cosplays in person, especially when we were in Bristol when I actually got to see stuff in person. Which is really funny because I loved that we were next to each other, didn't we? We had tables next to each other, and you were like, "Can I put this in, this there?" And I was like, "I'm so sorry, I'm taking up so much space," and we had to move a table, and I was like, "I'm just moving everything." But then you popped over and you were like, "Hey, this just broke. Can you fix it?" And I'm like, "Yes." I just fixed it. I was like, "There you go." And you were like, "Cheers." And I'm like, "No problems." Like, sorry, I took up all the space. Like, oh my god, it was horrible.
Oh no, that was such a lifesaver. I can't remember what it was that broke, but.
It was a jewel. It was a jewel somewhere on a crown or something. I'm not sure. Something like that. I have repaired so much stuff all over the years. I cannot for the life to remember. I'm not gonna lie though. Me and Harry have had people come up to our table and be like, "Can you just repair this, please? Can you repair this?" And I'm like, "Okay, fine." My favourite one was going to a con where someone was like, "Oh, I've got my cosplay repair kit," and picked up a plastic carrier bag that had a glue gun and some glue sticks in it. I was like, "There's my cosplay repair kit." And I was like, "Cool." And I went over. Do you remember when I showed you as well? And I picked up my big red toolbox and was like, bang! I was like, "So, here's everything you'll need to repair a cosplay." The only things I don't have, which I need to put in, is like sewing stuff. Just some black, red, blue, green, just the main color threads and just some needles and stuff, and then that's it. I mean, I don't need that because all my stuff is foam. Some of it's fabricy-ish, but it'd be handy if somebody needs it. And I can here's a needle and thread. You know what to do. Do the thing.
That was. I think it was for this actually. Just the thingy.
Was it?
Yeah, I don't know. You said gem.
It was a gem. I remember it being a gem. I don't know if it was. Either way, it was still nice to be able to be helping out another cosplayer, which was awesome.
Normally we do carry, because we had the things on our table that we were selling as well. We had a box that had underneath all the stuff had little bits of super glue and needle and thread and stuff like that. Not as elaborate as your kit. But I think the one thing that we didn't have was literally the glue gun.
Well, I've got a glue gun now. I've got 2-part epoxy. It's got 2 tubes and you press it down and you mix it. I've got that stuff as well. I've got all the duct tape. So much duct tape because Space Marines need duct tape, and the best duct tape I have is the one that you really loved. It was the hazard stripe duct tape that I've got.
Yeah, that was so cool.
You were like, you have hazard stripe duct tape? I'm like, just in case, because you never know. It's the hazard stripe duct tape's the best. So anyway, sorry. Back to the questions. What's the most expensive cosplay you've made to date?
Ooh, I never really sort of keep track.
Good. That's good because I did a stupid thing and I've kept track and I know how much everything and I'm just like, oh god, there's so much money.
Well, I partially made this costume, the one I've got in mind.
Okay.
But I also commissioned a lady from Las Vegas in America to make some parts because I can't make corset. I wish I could make a corset, but...
Oh, cool, you got a corset made. That's awesome.
Yeah, and a pair of pants and various other things. But the costume was Harley Quinn from Arkham City, but I kind of put my own...
spin on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Harley notoriously has blonde hair, and I just don't think I suit blonde hair. And I wasn't going to wear a wig because I have a love-hate relationship with wigs. So I basically, my hair was bright red and blue at the time. So I made my own little staff thing to go with it, a little jester skull, instead of the baseball bat, because I didn't really kind of connect or get the baseball bat.
I get what you mean.
Yeah, I kind of like the staff because you could use it as a bludgeoning weapon.
Yeah, I mean, anything's a bludgeoning weapon if you're imaginative enough.
Yeah, so I commissioned her to make the gloves, the corset, because it's a really elaborate looking corset.
Is it a steel bone or a plastic or?
Steel boned.
Nice.
And oh my god, the inlay for the actual corset itself, I wish I could go get it actually. Is playing cards on the inside, the lining for it, and it was just so cool, and I was just so made up with it.
See, I like that as the inlay. Oh, also, have a good night, Mr. Tynan. Thank you so much for coming. Really appreciate the host. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Mr. Titan's just heading off. He's got a work call, so that's fine. But I mean, knowing that the playing cards are inside there, but you knowing that the playing cards are inside there is really cool. It's kind of cool.
Also the boots as well. I had the perfect boots but I wanted her to cover them for me, so I had to send them over to Las Vegas for her to cover them, and for her to send them back.
Oof.
So I think the entire thing in total, I think, was around 800, give or take, for all of the the corset, the boot covers, the pants, she made the belt as well.
Nice.
And also the top underneath, it was just a basic two-tone black and red jersey top. I ended up making that with the bra covers and the choker.
So
But
that
yeah,
so
there's
so
a few things
you'd say that was your most mostly due to postage and the commission and stuff. That would be, yeah.
yeah,
Because
definitely.
I had a feeling I knew it wasn't Nah. There's something in my head that was telling me it wasn't Nah because I don't know.
Like,
Nah
I'm
is
still trying to figure out like how much, but I think I've got roundabout in my head. Like I know how much.
you don't have to say. I never say that you have to say. All I say is which one is the most expensive, but I tend to never ask how much unless
It's
they're.
fine. I'm quite like I don't mind. So.
Oh, fair enough. Well, if you want to tell the lovely ladies and gentlemen, you're more than welcome to. We Lynette Cosplay says hazard stripe duct tape. That's amazing. Where'd you get that from? I got it from a hardware place near us called Toei Works. Toei Works is next to the Avon Toei in Carmarthen, which is really cool. And I've just been told that the three brothers who run it have just sold it on, which really sucks. It sucks. So it's closed down for a little bit. And it's like my favorite place because you go there and it has so much cool stuff. It's absolutely awesome. Also, thank you so much for coming, Lynette Cosplay. Have a good night. Thanks for coming. Much appreciated. In terms of your cosplays, then, I've asked you your most expensive, but what's your cheapest? What's your most sort of bargain basement sort of? This was a charity shop find. This was I had already. That kind of stuff.
Oh my god. Okay. I think it was probably Marceline because
Marceline, yes.
I already had a like floor mat foam, and it was just basically grey makeup. I kind of had similar coloured hair at the time. Fangs, which aren't really that pricey.
No,
like,
fangs are quite cheap nowadays.
So I think like the whole thing probably cost me like 20.
Oh wow!
Like,
That's
like the glue and stuff that glue the guitar and things together, and the little bits and pieces that I put onto it. But I don't think it was that much.
I like that though. Marceline's a cool character though. Like I love Marceline because I love Adventure Time. I love Adventure Time. I love Adventure Time and I love Gravity Falls. I genuinely love both of those. I actually want to make the 3 books or 4 books. I'm not sure how many books it is. I think it's 4 books from Gravity Falls. You know
I've never seen it.
Have you not? If you like Adventure Time, you'd like Gravity Falls. It's not as psychedelic as Finn and Jake's adventures are, because some of Finn and Jake's adventures are really like shit, goddamn. But Gravity Falls is really, really cool, and I really, really like Gravity Falls. It's so much fun. You might like it if you do decide to watch it. Let me know what you think. I'd love to know what you think of it.
I will do.
But yeah, Marceline, that's a nice cheap cosplay. But I do like the fact that you made the guitar with real bass strings, so that makes me very, very, very happy. I absolutely love that.
They were kind of like a freebie from work at the time as well.
Oh, that's the way. Oh, that's so cool. So, what is your favorite convention?
I think you know the answer to this one.
Sci-Fi Weekender, isn't it?
Of course it is.
Yeah, boy. I love Sci-Fi Weekender. Sci-Fi Weekender's the best.
It is like the best. I've never ever been to a convention like it in all my life. And
There is no convention like it.
amazing.
There is no con like it. It is. Do you know what's really funny? I need to tell Sci-Fi Weekender that the amount of times I've spoken about their event in my stream and the amount of people in chat that have been like, "Oh my god, I need to go!" Like, "Oh my god, I need to go!" Like, it's crazy. It's absolutely awesome.
It's just like one big nerdy family. It's great.
Oh, there you go. Fool's Guard has put there you go. Yellow and black hazard stripe tape in the chat there. I absolutely love that.
Yeah, I need to get them.
I love it.
I don't know what
Hazard
I'm going
stripe
to
tape,
use it
£3.25.
for, but I want them.
Just so you can have it. Hazard stripe tape is awesome. Like,
Oh, tape everything.
also it's perfect for Halloween. So
Yeah, spooky season. It is.
it is Spooktober, but my perfect thing is it is October. October's the best. Also, Bez Hawk says, in Wales, go back to Wales. I want it to come back to Wales. Don't get me wrong. I actually want it to come back to Wales because it's too far to drive I really wish it was back in Wales. I do wish though, because it's only like, to me it was like, oh, it's only up the road. It's 3 hours, but it's still like only up the road. Like I would go from where we are, literally almost the entire length of Wales, which was absolutely fine by me. But going from where I am now across the bridge all the way across England, like it's just. When I told Holly and Tony where we were going, they were like, "Oh, okay, cool," and I was like, "Yeah, it's literally across the country." Like it's across the UK, and they were like, "Oh my god!" Now we stopped a lot, and it's hence why it took about 7 hours. But I stopped a lot because it was so much driving, so much driving. And then we drove back on the Sunday. Then we drove back. We stopped twice on the way back. It didn't take as long on the way back, but it was just insane. It was insane.
But it is worth it though.
Oh God, absolutely,
No.
absolutely, and it's honestly next year. I want to actually try and plan a dancing Space Marines. You know how me and David normally just get dressed and we go to the dance floor? I want to actually plan one. And I want to do it where a bunch of us get together and we sort of take over the dance floor a little bit. That'd be really cool. Just a bunch of cosplays together. Because I want to see Nah just rocking out to DJ Leroy. I want to see Nah. I want to see Nah headbanging. Like I want to see Nah fully headbanging. Like
I think it'd come off.
Oh, probably actually, yeah. I wouldn't want it to come off. You'd have to hold your head and then headbang.
Well, even that would come off.
Oh, actually, do you know what? True. But then I'm not gonna lie. Me and David don't wear helmets when we do it because it gets way too hot. It gets hot like that. It gets hot like instantly. It's honest to God.
Can you imagine just in the first seat with no headlamps? Like, yeah.
That would be so cool, though. That would be sick as hell. That would be sick as fuck. I love that. Buzzhawk says, I preferred the holiday cottage in Wales rather than the caravan. Do you know what? I get what you mean because I mean I don't mind so much because we get given a caravan, which is absolutely fine. We share a caravan as cosplayers. But yeah, no, there's something about Sci-Fi Weekender in Pwllheli that I miss. In Havana More, it was called, I think.
Havana More.
Havana More is a holiday park. Lovely holiday park. A Haven holiday park. I used to work for the company. I used to work for that company. But
Literally just down the road.
No way.
Not like you'd end up going to the beach.
No. But it is just down the road.
If you want to leave.
So this is an interesting question that I ask a few of my guests, but I'd love to know how do you view yourself as a cosplayer?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I've had some. It's funny. I've had some really interesting answers from this one, and it really makes me. It makes me want to ask it more because I've had some people say like they view themselves as like a complete novice. Like I'm terrible. I asked Ben the other night. The stream on Tuesday, Mr. Ben Cosplay. And he was just like, oh, I just view myself as a beginner, and just left it at that. And I was like, fair enough. But obviously with yourself,
I just see myself as a chameleon.
Oh, I like that. That's a cool answer.
You know, nobody. It's actually quite funny. You'd think it'd be the other way around. Like out of costume, people would recognise you. I've had the case where I wasn't in our costume, went up to somebody that I know, I'm not going to mention who, I was like, hi, how are you doing? Didn't recognise me, and then I put the NAR costume on and went up to them later, and they were like, oh, it's Kim! And I'm just like, that's actually quite funny that they didn't know me.
You see, I like that you say that, though. Because when you're in NAR, obviously your spotter moves people out the way. You walk through crowds. You can get through crowds and stuff, and like people come up to you and all that. Then as soon as you get out, nobody knows who you are, and that's what's really funny about when me and Harry were literally saying the other day. We went to a con; it was packed. We could barely get through I say the other day when conventions were happening last year. We were walking through an event and we were getting stopped all the time, which is fine. Like that's the whole point of it. But we were getting stopped all the time. And then we went back to the table, got undressed, put the suit on the stand and everything, asked the lovely table next to us, can you look after our stall? They're like, yeah, fine. And then we got one of the people who run the event over and they sat down at our table while we went to get food. And we just walked through the con and we were like, excuse me, like bumping through people and everything. Whereas before we were literally charging through. And it's just like, it's so funny. It is so funny. You become invisible because you blend in, just like you say, like a chameleon. You blend
it's
in.
great. Like,
It's
haha,
awesome.
you didn't know it was me.
But it's funny though,
Yeah.
like how like a bunch of cosplayers will stand next to each other. They know who they are, but it's like, look, nobody knows who we are. It's because we're not in our. But that's why I'm really looking forward to starting. I'm gonna wear one of my t-shirts to a con and just be like, yeah, and walk around with like my big chainsaw or something, just like, oh, I love it. Although I did get recognized once in Carmarthen while doing my food shopping. The guy at the till was like, "Are you Iron Warrior cosplay?" And I was like, "Yes." It's proper, like, that made my day. I posted about it as well, made my day.
Oh, I
Properly
bet.
made my day. It was in a Farm Foods down by KFC next
No way.
to Pizza, not Pizza, Domino's Pizza down in Carmarthen. I was really, really happy. It properly made my day. It was absolutely amazing. But back to the questions. I have a two-sided coin for you. The first side of the coin is, what's your favorite part of cosplay? Like, you know, cosplay as a whole, like the community, the events, what you do, the making, the building, all that stuff. What's your
Oh, all of that.
what's your favorite part? Oh, all of that, just all of that.
No. For me, it's about being creative. So, you know, it's a good creative outlet to, and it's quite a challenge as well. With like every costume I build, I try and learn a new skill, or try and improve on stuff that I already know. So I love just kind of like locking myself into a room sometimes and just crafting random stuff. It's also about the fandoms and the characters and wanting to be in character and do the character justice.
Oh yeah, trust me, I know that feeling.
Can be a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to stuff like that, but it's just having fun with it as well. And obviously meeting like-minded people like yourself, and you know, it's like this whole wonderful community of people who like to, you know, are on the same wavelength as you and share ideas and connect with people. So it is
And are as equally, if not more, insane. Yes, absolutely. That is literally the best, because because I remember when it was you and me at Sci-Fi Weekender, and I had, which one was it, 8 I think, or 8 or 9, I'm not sure. But I met, like, that's when I properly got to know you, I think, because we would see each other occasionally. I think so.
I don't think it was 8. I don't think I.
Was it not 8? Was it 9 then? I've been to so many. It's insane. Don't even, because I remember properly. Oh yeah. There you go. Because that's when I properly got to start knowing yourself and a bunch of other people, and then realizing that, like, I'm not alone, and I love that, and that's the best thing.
Right. Like I said, it's like normally, like outside of conventions, like the only sort of acceptable time to dress up was Halloween. So have like this whole community of people, and obviously at the time, yeah, it was huge in America, it was huge in Japan. There wasn't really sort of like that many cosplayers in the UK at that time when I was like really, really interested in doing it, and I felt a little bit weird and a bit outcast. So I was just like, I'll just stick to Halloween.
Were you one of those people who, when Halloween came around, you would go absurdly beyond? Yeah, same.
That kind of goes without saying, really.
Same.
Yeah.
I was always the one who would turn up at somebody's house, like, not last year, but the year before, I turned up just in my full Ghostbusters kit.
Oh, wow.
Just because I wanted to. And they were just like, well, fuck. It was just people in sheets and like
someone with like cat ears or something.
Yeah, with like cat ears and like a cat tail and like, oh, and I'd walk in with the music blasting.
Like, well,
it's like
I feel a bit overdressed.
Like when a cosplayer turns up to a Halloween party, you fucking know it, and it's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I
love it, and I love the passion about it, and you know that's what I love about it as well. You know?
Walking down the street during Halloween with my friends Marcus and I think his missus and her brother, and we were walking around with my nieces and their kids going trick or treating around where they live, and I just had the proton pack blasting the Ghostbusters theme just the whole time. It's just like da, 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 just like walking along, so really happily like love it.
Sounds great.
But I tell you what, though, back before I was into the whole going like insane and stuff like that, I only had steampunk stuff back when I started. And I did go to a party once. Here's a funny story for you guys. I'm going to get hated by the chat for this. I think you're going to love this, though. We were going to a Halloween party, or friends of mine in Carmarthen, and we were going there. But I had no job at the time. I had no money. And I was like, well, I can't buy anything. I can't make something. I have no money. I wasn't super into cosplay then, but I was doing steampunk. So I was Googling characters and stuff, and it was a Disney party. Everything had to be Disney. Some people did come as Pixar stuff, but I wanted to go as something from Disney. So my friend Matthew Mallard went as Tinkerbell. So a bearded, really hairy man in a green dress with wings was the greatest thing ever. But I went in my steampunk gear. I did my cravat. I had a bowler hat. I had my top hat on, and I took my my Winchester rifle. Right. And I was walking along with my Winchester rifle. I got to the house, and they were like super confused. I walked in, I hugged everyone, said hi, and I was holding my thing, and I had my pipe in my mouth. And they were like, "Disney party? You've come as steampunk?" I'm like, "No, I am somebody from Disney." And like, "So who the hell are you?" And I was like, "I've come as the hunter who killed Bambi's mother." And they were like, "What?" And I tell you what's really funny. I dare you go watch Bambi. You don't see them, so you could dress up however you wanted. So you only see the barrel of the gun. So I took my Winchester rifle with me and just dressed up in whatever I wanted, and was like, "There you go, that works, I guess." And I got hated. I got hated so much. It was the best. I was like, feel the hate wash over me. Because I literally had no money, so I was like, I need to think fast. And they were just like, how about a character you don't see? The guy who shot Bambi's mother you don't see, you just hear a bang and the barrel of the gun is like, that'll do. That will do. I tell you what, I get hated. We do have a question from the chat for you, but I wanted to ask you the second part of the two-part question. So what's your favorite part of cosplay, but what's your least favorite part of cosplay?
Generally, people who just look down on others and generally just bitchy towards each other. It kind of like comes with that, the negative sides of cosplay.
I feel you there. Thank you, Bezzy Hawk. Thank you for coming. Bezzy Hawk's leaving.
So that's generally like my big pet peeve is when, someone who has spent like a lot of time making a costume and just people are throwing shade or negative comments at them, and it's just like, there's no need for that.
No, I genuinely couldn't agree more.
And some people just take it too seriously, especially if there is a competition.
Oh, don't.
Because I have experienced some.
Oh, yeah, you do, don't you? Yeah. God, I bet, have you had your fair share of sort of horrible negativity? I hope not.
I've not like had any people being negative towards me. I've just seen it towards other people. And it just upsets me and makes me so angry.
I completely agree. It is horrible.
Why would you have to look that way?
It's horrible.
Honestly, that's what cosplay is. It's supposed to be fun. You get up on stage. I don't enter competitions just to win.
Even though you do quite regularly. Hey, you do well. Your costumes are amazing. Your cosplays are fantastic. So of course.
I can feel the heat from my face now.
She's blushing, everyone. Look at her. She's blushing on stream. No, I'm winding you up.
No, hold on.
She put the head on and just be like, and I was like, so, do you like this? You're like, just hit the head on. Oh, I love that. But no, I agree what you mean. I agree with you. I completely get what you mean with the whole just bitchiness and horrible negativity towards people for no reason. That's the worst part.
Yes, there's no reason at all, And the whole reason I love getting on stage is just to perform as the character, and I love like making little skits put music to it and stuff like that. And it's another way to be creative. And because I never really got into like performing arts or anything, I kind of wish I should have, but I just really enjoy it.
I like that.
I don't really care if I win competition or not. It's not really the be on and kind of end all for me, but you know, some people take it too seriously.
Some people take it like if some people take it like if they don't win, it's the end of the world, and it's like.
I know.
But speaking of, you said you put music to what you do on stage and everything, segueing really nicely into the question that's been asked for you on the chat there. I hope I'm getting this right. Courtney Am Dean, is there any music you like to listen to when making something? Is there any music you like listening to when making something?
Just generally any sort of metal music or rock music.
Oh hell yeah! Or Rammstein. Just Rammstein.
Rammstein, I love Rammstein.
Amazing.
Muse, I listen to a lot of Muse.
Oh, Muse is awesome.
So many different types of like, their albums all sound very different.
If this stream was to go on for another 3 hours, it'd just be you and me listing off bands we like.
80s music as well, because I love the 80s aesthetic.
80s is, yeah. I wasn't born in the 80s, but I love the 80s music. 80s music is awesome. 80s music is awesome.
I totally wasn't born in the 80s.
Well, gloss over. Don't worry. We're just like, or the really funny. I do ask a lot of I do ask like, you know, how long have you been cosplaying? But I don't tend to tell. I don't tend to ask like, so how, like, not all the time. I did ask Ben. I think I asked Mr. Ben Cosplay because I wanted to know. I had no idea. But you know, the question is cosplay something you see yourself doing in 10 years? I did ask Ben how old he was because I was like, how old are you? Because I literally had no idea. Like, I've known him for so long, but I was like, how old are you? And it's like, good. But no, I tend to not ask everyone that because it's not polite to ask a lady her age. So I've never done that. So I don't normally do. But yeah, Muse is good. Muse is a good band. I do enjoy Muse. I also like I don't know if you like. I listen to like Offspring and Sum 41 stuff I used to listen to when I was in school.
Yeah.
Like stuff I used to listen to on the bus. Like Blink 182. Blink 182.
Yeah.
Oh, Blink 182.
The first I heard of Rammstein was there was like a German music channel I used to listen to when I was in school. It was called Viva Fly.
That's awesome.
It was like a really sort of like obscure music channel, but it was like so much better than MTV and stuff at the time. So like all the bands I used to listen to used to be on there, like Placebo, Rammstein. My mind goes blank.
It's fine. As soon as someone's like, name a bunch of bands you like, I'm like, except obviously Rammstein.
Stuff like that.
Static X. I haven't listened to Static X in forever. Oh my god! You just literally made me go like back into my like I'm getting Vietnam flashbacks now. I love that. Static X. Oh my god! I don't understand. Do you know who I haven't listened to in forever is Evanescence. I haven't listened to Evanescence in like a millennia. Or Duran Gray. Duran Gray. Did you ever listen to Duran Gray?
I didn't think they do. Japanese bands. Yeah. There's a few Japanese bands that I like.
Trust me, I like Japanese bands. I like a lot of stuff. People tend to freak out when I start listing off the bands I actually do like, and they're like, "Wow, I didn't expect you to like." Like, yeah, I do. I like music. I tend to like a lot of stuff, but you know, it's the way it goes. But what got you into cosplay originally? Like I know you said you started off. You said you liked dressing up anyway, but what got you into like specifically like cosplay like originally? What started it all off?
Well, like going into cosplaying conventions or
yeah, that kind of like full on cosplay stuff.
From like going to conventions, I just thought I'd never actually been to a con dressed up because I went to Wales Comic Con quite a few times because that was my hometown for a little bit.
Oh, awesome!
As well, so I lived there for a couple of years, and then I think it was like back in 2010 they started going. This is when they were like really like small con. It was quite sweet.
But back when it was WalesCon before they moved to England and still call it WalesCon, I'm like, I know it's the Telford takeover, but still, like.
Yeah, it's and I think it was like 2014. I was like, because I spent so much time and money on this Harley Quinn costume. That was the Arkham City one. I was like, I'm gonna go dress up to convention. I didn't enter any competitions or anything because I felt it was a bit wrong because I didn't make most of it.
Fair play to you.
I was like, it was like a massive confidence boost as well because there were so many people who kind of stopped me and was like, wow, you know, we see a lot of Harleys, but yours is something else, and that to me just like made me feel really, really good.
Doesn't it just I hope people know. I hope people understand how much power they have when they come up to. Like, I might be dressed up in a giant foam suit of armor and getting loads of pictures taken and stuff, but to have that one person come up and just be like, hey, by the way, that is just it still makes me feel as good as when I started off. And it is so fantastic. And people need to know the power that they have, like the proper power.
Oh, there was somebody sending those little cards around the convention as well. I can't remember what convention it was, but it was like literally like a business card size card saying, just telling the person like, hey, I think your costume's really awesome. I'm giving this to you as like a, yay, it's awesome. Pass it on to the next person you think has an awesome costume. And it was just like, oh, and it was just like doing the rounds, and it ended up coming back to me a few times, and I was just like, I'm just like passing it to people. It was like such a nice idea, and it was just like.
Do you want to know something really funny? I have those cards.
You do.
I have a whole box of them. I got a free coupon from Just Print and I got a bunch made, and it says, hey you're fucking awesome, keep that shit up, a passing stranger.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, that my literally mine, like at the top corner it says like, hey you, and then in the middle it's like, you're fucking awesome, keep that shit up, a passing stranger. And I literally tell people, like written on the back or just in me and pen, I've just like, you know, pass it on, and I just give them to.
Yeah, no, it's just a great thing to do, and again, it just puts smiles on people's faces, and you know, it's very wholesome.
It is. It's wholesome, and it makes people incredibly happy. What would your advice be to somebody starting off? Somebody who's starting off in the cosplay world. They're there. They've got foam under one arm, a knife in the other, and they're full of hopes and dreams.
Just do it, really. There's so many resources online these days that, you know, like I didn't particularly know much about foam crafting when I tried to attempt to do it for the first time. So there's like people like Punished Builderan from Punished Props. There's Evil Ted, who they do like loads of patterns and tutorial videos and stuff. There's plenty of people on YouTube, but there's also is it Kamui? I can never say the name.
Kamui Cosplay.
Kamui Cosplay. They release patterns for various different things like cauldrons or skulls and
Evil Ted as well. Evil Ted does patterns and stuff too. Builderan.
I did mention Evil Ted in Punished Props, but yeah.
Nice.
Just so many different types of resources, and you know, it can be a bit daunting to start off with, but we try and put across to everybody that you can make anything from anything.
Literally.
Yeah. So,
I mean, I saw an Optimus Prime made of Amazon cardboard boxes called Amazon Prime.
That's amazing.
It is awesome. It is pretty freaking awesome. The internet's a wonderful place sometimes, but it can also be the worst place.
And if you're unsure, cosplayers are always happy to get questions about various things.
Absolutely. If you have any questions to ask a cosplayer, just message them on their cosplay page. Doesn't matter who they are, they will reply. Well, if they're nice, they'll reply. Which I'm hoping they will. Like, I hope they do, but you know. I tend to get a lot of questions on my cosplay page, but mostly it's, hey, can you build me a Space Marine? And I'm like, no, I can't. It's like, I can, but it's, no, because money. No one wants to pay money. It's like, okay, fair enough. We'll leave it at that. But, yeah. Have you had any commissions, like, for, like, props and cosplays, other than, obviously, the stuff that you make on Etsy?
I've had a few quite a few different people, all various different random things. I'm currently doing a Tron recognizer for one of my friends.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
I couldn't put lights in it, but it's gonna be like glow in the dark.
That's still cool, though. Don't get me wrong. It's
Yeah.
still absolutely awesome.
I did one of my. I can't remember now. It was going back. It was actually before I built NAR. The month before. It was a couple of weeks. I made a shield for one of my friends and a spear because he was going dressed as a White Walker to one of his Halloween parties.
That's cool.
And he totally won the competition.
Oh, hell yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, a couple like wooden, like medieval shields, all made out of foam, of course.
Yeah. Oh, there's something about shields. I really like shields. I love shields. They're awesome. They're so much fun.
I also that rock night that we used to go to as well.
Oh yeah.
I used to airbrush one of my friends, Alan.
You used to airbrush him?
Yeah, because one of his characters that he wanted to go for Halloween once was Dr. Manhattan.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, right, you are wearing shorts, right?
Hopefully. Or a pair of, or that blue Speedo that Dr. Manhattan wears.
Yeah, so he ended up wearing shorts, and I ended up doing like a glow in the dark. So when he went into the UV light, into the black light, he actually glowed blue.
That's insane.
Also, I spray painted him as one of the engineers from Prometheus, but not like he had like the precious suit on.
I got you. I love those.
Like,
they were so cool. The engineers looked amazing.
Biomechanical and stuff, which I totally love because I'm an Aliens fan. So.
Oh hell yeah! Aliens is like an amazing franchise. I love that. Ah, see, I love that. So you also not only do you make stuff for other people, you actually help them when they're actually getting kitted up and everything. That's so cool.
Yeah, so it's not only about like commissions and stuff. It's like helping people get into cosplay, and like I say, if anybody has any questions about it.
Yeah, if you guys do have any questions, obviously Warp Raven and myself more than happy to take any questions if you guys have them that are cosplay related. Please feel free to you can either ask in the chat now or you can message either of us after the stream. It's entirely up to you. I do have one or two more questions to ask you. Your most uncomfortable cosplay?
Ooh,
because I know a lot of people have like comfy cosplays and stuff, but I want to know what the most uncomfortable cosplay is.
I don't actually know because like they are quite comfortable. I mean Nara is quite comfortable to a point.
Yeah, obviously to a point other than when it's a sweatbox.
Yeah, when it's a sweatbox. So I would partially say nah because when we went to LSCC in London, it's like the actual venue, Olympia venue, is like a greenhouse.
It's a huge greenhouse. Yeah, it's
and it
beyond.
was during, I think it was like July, so it was like the hottest.
Oh god.
And I previously, like literally a couple of days before we went down to that convention, I had a horsefly bite on my leg.
Ow.
So my entire leg on the bottom is completely ballooned up, and Rich, luckily we brought like these injury gel packs.
Oh, the cooling packs.
Yeah, you can put in the freezer. So I literally had loads of them strapped to me, and loads of them, like one strapped to my leg, just so I could go into the finals in the competition. I was like, please don't die.
That's absolute. Do you know what? That's insane dedication. I love that level of dedication. That's awesome.
So, not for that reason, because I was literally dying in LFCC, and sometimes Bastet, because she's very awkward to sit down in, because I'm actually wearing an underbust corset.
Ah, okay, yeah. I could see that being really not fun to sit down in, but
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. As uncomfortable as that sounds, it's probably as uncomfortable, if not a bit more awkward, to sit down when I'm in the marine. That's always fun.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but just because there's so many layers to it as well, and with obviously with the black and gold paint as well, it can get quite hot if you're stood underneath like a bright light or the sun. It tends to burn.
How do you manage to keep all your paint on?
I have no idea.
Just sheer will of the gods. Sheer will of the gods.
You will stay on. Me and you will have words if you don't. No, I don't actually use any fixing spray or anything. It's just this metallic black face paint that is by Snazaroo, so it's not like anything special.
That's such a cool name, Snazaroo.
Yeah. So like
awesome.
anybody who knows anything about face painting will know Snazaroo brand. It's just basic water-based face paint. But the metallic black stays on really well, and it kind of gives it like a nice sheen, like a sapphire. So that's kind of like what I was going for with the metallic stuff. But it stays on really well.
I've never seen a single bad photo of you wearing it, so I'd say it's doing its job.
I think like the only like areas I need to touch up is like when you are like it's kind of like the creases.
Oh, when you move when like creases in your skin,
yeah.
you mean? Yeah.
That's so like anywhere around the neck area, places like that, just kind of like give like a touch up.
How long does the makeup take you?
I'd probably say like a couple of hours because if it's I have to get up early to put the contact lenses in.
Ah, okay.
Sometimes contact lenses are a bit of a pain in the backside because I can get one in perfectly okay, and then I'll go to put the other one in and it'll fall out on the floor somewhere, and I'm like, where's it gone?
Oh God.
Or it's just like it won't go in properly. I always seem to do it for some reason, but and then I've got eyelashes to put on. Then it's the like black face paint and then the gold detail and stuff.
I shouldn't complain about getting in my Space Marine.
Layers. I think like just generally the face paint takes a bit longer, and then you've got the fangs as well. The fangs.
Oh God, yeah, the fangs.
So it probably takes about 2, maybe 3 hours, depends how well I can put the contact lenses in. If I can put the contact lenses in okay from the start, then it's probably about a couple of hours.
Because I've always thought about, I say always, I've been thinking about doing a helmetless Iron Warrior, where I like mess my hair up or something, or I'll get my hair cut to look more 40k-ish, if that's even possible. But I wanted to get one of those white contacts, you know, the ones that make your eye look like it's, you know, messed up. I was going to do that, and I was going to put a scar down like the side of my eye or something cool like that.
Really cool.
Because I've got a little pot of the stuff you can do and makes a scar.
Is it collodion?
I'm not sure. I'm not very good at it. I tried some on my hand. I did like 3 layers of it, and it wouldn't work. And it was just like, okay.
It looks like a little pot of nail polish.
Yeah, that's the one with the tiny little black lid. Yeah, that's what I. You just brush it on and let it dry, but it didn't work very well.
So it looks like a scar. It's really cool.
I wanted to sort of do a jagged one down my eye with that white sclera contact, and then mess my hair up a bit. And I want to have some wires coming out the back of my head down to the back of the inside of the suit, which would be really cool.
Ooh.
But there's a lot of ideas I want to do with that. But we have a question from the chat from Quarion. Question to both. What's your favorite material to work with when crafting? I'll let you go first with that one.
I tend to drift from one project to another, so
I like that.
I like sculpting. That's either sculpting with foam or sculpting with clay. So Yeah, I think that's probably two most favorite materials to work with.
Mine would be foam.
So,
All the foam, just foam. If I had more foam, I have so much foam. I love foam. Foam is amazing. Foam is what I use. Foam is my go-to. It's absolutely the best. I think the batteries in this are dying. I think they're fading. I think they're looking a bit faded on this side. They're slowly going. The batteries I have aren't the best in it. They lasted last stream. I just found them and they lasted the entire stream. But I think they're dying slowly right now. We'll see. We'll see. But with in terms of like the costumes, I asked you like your most expensive and your cheapest and everything. What about your props? What's the most expensive prop you've ever made? Like, whether it's a commission or the one you've made yourself, is there a specific prop that you say has cost you an arm and a leg?
I'd probably like made prop would probably be the bastet whip.
Oh, the one with the LEDs.
Yeah, because those were LED strips back to back.
Oh,
and
wow.
then through each individual strand, which there's 4 strands, so that's like 2 strips of LEDs back to back in one of those strands.
Oh, wow.
And then goes in a continuous circuit sort of thing.
Oh.
Because they're color changing ones as well, because they didn't have.
Oh, RGB.
Yeah, so they didn't have the color that I wanted, which was like an aqua color, which kind of goes with the costume.
Yeah.
So I had to get the color changing ones to get the specific color, and it's like every time they would break, because I'd be in character, be swinging them around like you would with a whip, would break. So we've had to fix them quite a few times, and they're probably about £40 each time you break them.
Oh, that is quite an expensive prop then, I'd say.
Yeah.
Bonaparte says, I forgot Kim had big ears. Ha 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 ha. It's not very nice. They're elfy ears. They're awesome ears. I love those ears.
I think they're just the right size.
They look awesome. What is cosplay? What is cosplay to you? That's a question. I have it in black. It's there. It's right there. And I have it in black because it's a question I throw in at some point during the stream. Not every stream, but I throw it in. But what is cosplay to you? I've had some genuinely proper, like, heartfelt answers about what cosplay is to somebody.
Try not to cry.
No, you don't have to. Like, if it's something super, super emotional, like, you don't have to. But what is cosplay to you?
It's just about the friendships I've made, because every, like yourself, every single one of you that I've met has just been absolutely wonderful people, and I'm just so grateful for the community, because it's bringing like-minded people together, and it's such a beautiful thing. And I'm not teary-eyed, I suppose.
It's true though. It is true though.
That's
like
what it is to me. It's, about making friends and the connections you have with people. So.
Oh, absolutely. If it hadn't been for cosplay, I wouldn't have met. I don't think I would have met half the people I know now. I would still have my friend circle, but it would be a very small, quite close friend circle, and that would be it. But thanks to cosplay, it's branched out. I mean, don't get me wrong. I have friends now in America and Canada, and just it's like what? Like it's crazy.
Isn't it?
It's crazy. I wouldn't have a Harry. Exactly. Quarion said you wouldn't have a Harry. You're right. Because I met Harry at a convention, and if I hadn't have done any cosplay, especially the Space Marine cosplay, I wouldn't have met Harry. Or a Desi, or a Dragonheart, yeah. So yeah, it's lovely. But I have
on stage either.
Say again.
I certainly wouldn't have got on stage either for anything.
No, Exactly, and I wouldn't have met the professor. That's a crazy one if I hadn't have done that. Oh God, it's insane. It's insane. We are a family, exactly. Oh yeah, and a Swedish caxor. Yeah, and see, I have friends everywhere. I love it. I love it. Love it. All the love. All the there you go. I have one last question for you before we end the stream. Where can we find you on the World Wide Webs?
So I mainly use Facebook and Instagram. I spend most of my time on Instagram. So I do have Twitter and stuff, but I don't really use it that much. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
But I know, obviously, my mods have a massive list of your links, including your Etsy, which is currently down, but it will be up soon, hopefully.
Yeah, it's on holiday mode at the moment.
It's on holiday mode at the moment.
Next few weeks, it'll be up and running.
There you go. But I'm sure if you guys want to jump over to Warp Raven, she has a Ko-fi, an Etsy, a YouTube, a Twitter, an Instagram, Facebook, a Twitch. Just, go give her the follows, likes, subscribes, share the love everywhere. It's awesome. That's what cosplay is about. Fool's Guard has asked a question that I have seen, so my mods don't have to send it to me. What pointy ears do you recommend?
What pointy ears?
Yes.
Oh, right. Well, these ones are just like really cheap ones. They're like silicone. They're really squishy.
Squish.
Squishy.
You should get a mold and cast a bunch. You do a lot of casting and stuff. You should.
There is going to be like some project which I'm going to be working on.
Ooh.
I'm not going to say anything.
Keep it secret.
But no, these are like really cheap. You can get them off Amazon for like £3 or £4 for a set of 2. These are the small ones, and you can get ones which are like that long.
Even pointier.
Yeah. I don't know about painting them though, because silicone doesn't really paint well.
I've been told airbrushing works on silicone a little bit, but I don't know how well it sticks.
Yeah, I'd imagine like a thin coat of something, like a wash, would probably be okay. But it would start to peel off after a while. So yeah, that's where I got these ones from.
Awesome. Thank you, Artemis Blackfire. Thank you so much for coming, and thank you for the host. Really, really appreciate it. Hope you have a fun night. With all your social media and stuff in the chat for everyone to see, I will say I have had a really, really nice time with you. This has been so much fun catching up. I've really, really enjoyed this. This has been super, super nice. We do have a few things to be doing. There's a raid happening tonight, so please stay, but it's an important raid, very important raid. We also have, I say we're both here, it's a we, why not? We have a bit of an announcement. Obviously, you guys know my Twitch streams are ending for Season 2. They're not ending completely. Someone messaged me the other night saying, oh my god, your streams are ending completely. I'm like, no, they're not. Just for Season 2. Season 3 will be back next year in 2021. Hopefully it's a better year. We'll see. It's like 2021 happens, the sun explodes. Oh, well, there we go then. But I do have some cool stuff to announce. This Saturday, I have a stream starting at 7 p.m. It's a special stream. You guys will find out on Saturday if you follow my Facebook and my Instagram. You will see the post go up and you will know what the stream will be about. I'm not going to mention it now because some people will be like, oh, I'm going to do something. I'm going to leave it quiet for now. But on the 10th of October, there is a stream happening, which is a Saturday, and it'll happen at 7 p.m., same time as always. It'll just be myself, like at the beginning, but I have 2 guests. I'm hoping it's 2. This is currently up in the air, so we'll see what happens. I may have 2 guests. I may not have 1 guest. I may have none. We'll see what happens. But October 10th, Saturday. That is a Saturday. Yes, it is. 10th is a really awesome stream happening. You guys are going to love it. It's going to be a bit changed. The cameras are going to be changed and stuff. It's going to be awesome. Also, we're about to raid John Robertson, the guy who does the amazing Darkroom. John Robertson was on my stream the other night. He is an absolute legend. He is currently doing a massive, I think it's a 12-hour stream, isn't it? Is it a 12-hour
Yeah,
stream?
12 hours.
He is doing a 12-hour stream for charity. All the proceeds, all the bits and the subs and all the money that's donated with the Just Giving link at the bottom of his stream, all of that goes to charity. He is doing stuff he absolutely fucking hates. He's torturing himself. There's one of them. I think one of them. He's reading the Bible for an hour and he hates the. He's amazing. He's a brilliant comedian. He is absolutely legendary. He's doing it for charity. So we're going to raid him. And I really, really, honestly just cannot thank you guys enough for staying. So if you guys could stay, raid with us, watch him for a little bit, I would really, really appreciate it. If you guys can donate, that would be fantastic. So let's see now. Then where's John Robertson? The dark room. The dark room. I'm really, really bad.
I do have a mini announcement as well.
Would you like to do an announcement on my stream? Please do. You do that while I do this.
I'm still in the planning phase at the moment, but I'm going to be doing a Warhammer cosplay that I've been planning to do for like ever.
Yes! Yes! Ah! I cannot
not a
wait.
Marine.
No, it's fine, it's fine. I don't mind if it's a Marine or not, but it's a Warhammer cosplay.
It's not.
It's a Warhammer cosplay, though. That's awesome.
I don't know whether I should say or not.
Ah, I'm so happy you did that on my stream. That really means a lot. That's absolutely fantastic.
It's going to be a Gene Stealer Patriarch.
Wow. I'm actually so excited for this. Oh my god. This is awesome. This is awesome.
Still in the planning phase of the mission.
So, John Robertson's currently doing a 12-hour charity stream. Use bits to play dumb sounds, donate and give tasks, all money to youth homelessness. Also, he's doing push-ups and squats, negotiable. So he's doing push-ups and squats and stuff. That'll be really awesome. This is so brilliant. Can I just say thank you so much for coming onto my stream? It really means a lot because you're such a wonderful, happy, bubbly human being, and I'm really, really happy that I met you. I really hope that we can have a table next to each other again at a con soon. I really, really hope that that'll happen. Obviously, it'll be next year, but still, I really hope it happens.
Thank you for having me.
It's been a pleasure. I'm genuinely over the moon because I've been wanting to have so many people on, but it's trying to fit everyone in and making sure everyone can be, here during the stream and stuff. Obviously, you all know I've just announced Saturday. I will do a post on my Instagram and my Facebook saying Saturday, the 10th of October, 7 p.m. There will be a stream here. I don't know if I'll have guests, plural, or a guest. We'll see what happens again. It's currently up in the air, but the stream is happening because I've been wanting to do it, and it's the only time I can do it. It only happens once a year. Ooh, this is a big clue. But anyway, I will shut up now and just say thank you so much for coming on. We are going to raid the wonderful John Robertson, Robotron. He is doing an amazing 12-hour stream. He is doing all money that he's currently making. Wow, he's making loads right now. All money to youth homelessness, and that genuinely means a lot. So if you guys have bits or anything like that, please do. I'm going to try to do it myself. Donate what you can and enjoy his hilarious 12-hour stream. So thank you once again to the lovely Warbraven Cosplay, and from myself, thank you so much for joining. See you guys next week for my last stream. That'll be my last stream for season 2, and I'm not going to announce who the guest is yet, but we will do that, and thank you again for coming. We are going to raid Robotron. Let's raid. Here we go. 9 seconds.
On the raid train.
We're on the raid train. Thank you, everyone, for coming, and we'll see you soon. Bye for now.